There is no doubt that we're talking about e-mobility more and more, and it's not just at the motor shows. It's starting to get more real. It's starting to get onto the streets. Rupert Stadler from Audi certainly echoes the same sentiment, is joining me now. Always a pleasure. And thank you. I know it's a busy night for you, so I appreciate your time. E-mobility, as I said, it's not just a buzzword anymore. It's not just about good business sense. It's starting to become real world. Consumers are going to be able to touch and feel this very quickly. That back there is your representation of that.
Yeah, that's true. We started some years ago with the e-Tron philosophy, and I said when we are able, by technique, to provide a customer a solution with a range of, let's say, at around 500 kilometers, then we are in the business. And okay, our engineers did a good job, and we have shown, I think 2 years ago in Frankfurt, the first concept car. And now the baby is getting mature, and during summer this year, in August, we will show up with the Audi e-Tron, and the car will be produced in Brussels. So we are now preparing the factory, and I'm quite happy, I have to say, yeah, because it is the first runner. And I always, as a kid, I was remembered to the Audi A6, and this is the next modern Audi A6, which is totally electrified.
It bears that flag well. I remember asking you this, well, I guess at Frankfurt, because when you talked about e-Tron the very first time, everybody assumed you were trying to go the sports car way. But now we are seeing the coupe, we're seeing the SUV design language. It becomes more practical and therefore more real as well. Was it always going to be the smarter way to go with this body shape?
Yeah, some years ago we started with the idea of the R8 e-Tron. And of course we developed some prototypes, and it was for us, let's say, the incubator, the acceleration machine, that core competencies is growing up in Audi. And of course, making some market analysis, it was for me very clear that the SUV is the segment which is growing. And 3 or 4 years ago, when I said we will go for the SUV, everybody said, are you crazy? Yeah. Because physically it's not the best way. And I said, don't ask us, ask the customer. And finally, when we see what's happening in China, when we see what's happening in India, or all around the world, the SUV trend is right, and I think this is a very sexy car.
Oh, it looks very nice. I can't wait to see it without the cladding, of course, but you're going to make us wait just a little longer, I know. Possibly the next summit, I don't know. I'm going to throw that.
Yes, in August.
yeah, so that sounds like a great thing to look forward to. But I have to ask you this, that, you talk about the range, 500, 600 kilometers. Now, we've had some time to digest all of this. We've had some time to also understand how the technology is going to work, what the, let's say, future is looking like is more tangible. How worried are you then about infrastructure, developing markets, catching up with all of that?
Honestly, in the infrastructure issue, it was my biggest worry. But when we have a look on the United States, what's happening there with, let's say, the Volkswagen Group project Electrify America, or what is happening now, let's say, here in Europe, the infrastructure development is running very, very fast. And of course, our intention was always to get a high power charging solution, because we don't want to make the customer waiting 5 hours or 6 hours. So we are now at a quality of charging, let's say 30 minutes, 40 minutes, which is good for a coffee break, for whatever. And it's coming very close to the customer habits. And knowing that the premium customer is always a little bit different, so 90% of our customers are charging at home during night, so they don't have any hassle. And I feel quite comfortable, yeah.
All right, last question. How excited are you about the new A6?
I would say, honestly, this is the most beautiful A6 we ever designed and we ever developed. It is, from the proportion, amazing. Big wheels, nice body, and if you look to the interior, I would say it is the most progressive interior we ever had. Of course, time is running, and hopefully in the next few years we will also see the next exciting story, but I'm really happy with the A6.
Can't wait to drive it. And that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Always good to see you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.